Hey everyone, so there's this movie that's out now with a really controversial setting. I've seen trailers for The Woman King here and there, but didn't think much of it back then. It wasn't until I saw the synopsis which made me curious. In the 1800s, a group of all-female warriors protects the African Kingdom of Dahomey with skills and fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Faced with a new threat, General Naniska trains the next generation of recruits to fight against a foreign enemy that's determined to destroy their way of life. I was like, oh cool, a story about an African kingdom, that should be interesting. Afterwards I heard murmurs online about that kingdom's dark history, and then I looked it up and yeah, I'm left wondering how are they going to go about telling this story. Before I give more of my thoughts, I'm going to give a brief history of the Kingdom of Dahomey. Dahomey was a West African kingdom that existed roughly between 1600 and 1904. It didn't become a power to be reckoned with until the 1700s when it conquered cities on the Atlantic coast. If there's anything I've learned in history, having access to water or the ocean, in this case, is crucial to a civilization's growth. The fact that they had access to the Atlantic meant they were on track to success. However, if it wasn't emphasized before, they were conquerors. It's also true they had an all-female military unit. When they conquered their neighbors, they also captured people for slave labor. Their economy grew naturally as a result, as slave labor provides productivity for cheap costs. A messed up part is that they will hold annual customs which involved sacrificing the slaves via decapitation. This was the result of their religion. It wasn't all brutal, as the Kingdom of Dahomey was recognized for its wood and ivory carvings and metalwork, in which the king would support. I imagine this created a feedback loop in which all the artwork would featured largely around royal members. Eventually they were noticed by the Europeans, and when the Atlantic slave trade began, they played a role in selling the slaves to Europeans, and other slaves remained in Dahomey to work on the plantations there. Dahomey began to decline as a power when the British blocked their slave trade in the 1840s. They were attacked and weakened over the years until France defeated them on their second try, and added their kingdom as one of France's colonies in Africa. It's a tragic story full of questionable conflict. Knowing all of that, how is the Woman King going to make me empathize with warmongering slave traders? I haven't seen the movie and I might do so just to satisfy my curiosity, but how can I not see this kingdom as the antagonist? Here's one thing this movie could do which could save it, and that's to roll with it. Establish them as antagonists, or at the very least don't glorify the horrific parts of their history, or brush over it as if it never happened. I'm not sure if they're going for some alternative history version of them, but even still, it's still a weird pick, in my opinion. I'm not going to jump on the boycott bandwagon because I support all forms of art, as long as it's not used to cause immediate, obvious, real-world harm. So what does everybody think of it? Are you going to watch it or not? Does it pique your interest a little bit? Let's talk about it. Anyways, I gotta go. Be nice to one another and take care of yourselves.